Most office workers fail this 60-second posture assessment. In less than 1 minute, you'll know for yourself whether or not your posture has already started to break down. Let's give it a shot. So all we need to do this test is a wall, and we're going to measure 3 points of contact with the wall: the head, the shoulders, and the top of the hips, or the lower back. So first thing, let's stand up. We're going to be about 2 to 4 inches away from the wall, feet about hip width distant, so make sure that you're feeling naturally standing here. We also don't want to force ourselves into this posture because we want to get an honest assessment. So let's go ahead and kind of bring the body to the wall, standing as naturally as you can. First thing we want to check is the back of the head in contact with the wall? If it's not, if it's kind of coming forward, that means that the work has already been done. The posture negative effects has already happened because you're kind of in this position forward with the head all day. That means it's going to place excessive strain on the head and neck, and that's going to result in neck and shoulder pain. So that's test number 1. Test number 2, we want to check with the shoulders. So if the shoulders can easily be in contact with the wall, that's great. If you notice that they're kind of rounding forward, if you have to strain unnaturally to pull them into the wall, that means you already have kind of rounded shoulders, which is, again, also very common if you spend all day at a desk. It makes sense. The third thing we want to look at is the lower back. So if you can comfortably slip your hand between your lower back and the wall, there's a small gap, let's say 1 to 2 inches, that's okay. Now, if your lower back is in contact with the wall, that means that you're already kind of in this hunch position, that your back is not in a natural position anymore with the spine, that it's more rounded. That's going to be a fail. And then also, if your lower back is super arched and there's a big gap between your hand and the wall, that also means that there's an issue there. And it probably has to do with core strength and hip flexor tightness. All right, so we've done the assessment. Now we know, how you stack up. So why do most people fail this test? Well, it really comes down to the sitting position that most of us have during the day. When we're in a seated position, consider that we are usually rounding forward, right? The shoulders are coming forward like this. Our arms are out in front of us like this. We've kind of let the shoulders and the neck relax so that we have to crane the head upward to be able to see the computer screen in front of us. Our hips are super tight, so the hip flexors are pulling and creating this unnatural position with the lower back. And so it's basically a reflection of what your body does during the day. The good news here is that you can correct it with the right exercises, and depending on which part of the test you did or did not fail, here are 3 movements that you can use to fix it. Now, since we're already on a wall, I want to show you some stretches, some corrective exercises you can do using a wall. So the first thing we're going to do is a chin tuck, but we're going to use the wall for resistance. Chin tuck is a very traditional exercise. If you've been to any sort of physical therapy, you might be familiar with it for neck pain. So what we're going to do is use the wall as resistance. You're going to stand just like you did for the posture test with your feet close to the wall. You're going to pull your chin in toward your throat, kind of creating a double chin. And as you do this, you'll feel a sensation through the back of the neck. We're actually feeling those muscles working. Now, we've got this resistance between the back of your head and the wall. Push into that. And then from here, we're going to turn from side to side. So this is building strength in different ranges of motion. It's also helping to stretch tight muscles in the neck. So this is kind of like a chin tuck on steroids. And this is going to be a really great corrective exercise that you can do to help with the neck. By the way, you can also do this with the headrest of your car while you're driving. If you failed the shoulder portion, what we want to do is open the chest and strengthen the upper back. So a super simple way to do this is to find a wall. You're going to place your hands on the wall a little bit wider than shoulder width. We're going to bring the chest through the arms, work on pushing your chest down, and then lock out the arms, squeeze your arm muscles, and then see if you can flex your upper back. So we want to feel the muscles in the shoulder blades and the spine starting to work here. You should feel stretching through your chest as you do this. We want to get the chest toward the ground while maintaining strength through your arms and upper back. This is going to stretch the muscles in your chest, but it's also going to help strengthen the muscles in the upper back so that when you actually go to sit up with proper posture, you have the strength in your upper back to maintain it. And now for the last part of this assessment, we're going to focus on the lower back and the hips. If your lower back was significantly off the wall or it was directly into the wall, it's usually a symptom of tight hip flexors. Since we have the wall, we're going to use it for this stretch, and I'm going to show you how to do it a bit more effective than a traditional hip stretch. So we're going to bring your right leg forward, your left leg back, your right side is going to be facing the wall. And we want to push the left heel toward the ground. So we start to feel the stretch through the front of the thigh up through the hip flexors. This is the psoas muscle. If you've ever heard of that muscle, it's a really important muscle to the lower back and the hips. When this muscle gets tight, the lower back gets super angry. So this is a good one to do every day if you can. From here, instead of just holding the lunge, we're going to add a side bend to this. So I want you to reach your left arm up and over to the wall, and this is going to add a really big, nice stretch to this whole area, right? So we're getting the psoas, the hip flexors, the thighs stretching here. Last little tip is to squeeze your left thigh, squeeze your left buttock if you can here, and that's going to add a bit more of a strength element to help actively open that psoas, those hip flexors, and that's going to create a longer lasting effect. Make sure you do this on both sides and hold it for at least 60 seconds. So we're going to go back into the assessment again. Let's finish off that other side though. So left leg forward, right leg back, reach up and over. And if this is challenging for you, that's usually a good sign. Usually it means that these are exercises that can help you. If you're doing these and there's no challenge at all whatsoever, then, you know, with exercise, you want to find things that are difficult. But if it is challenging, it's kind of discouraging. Don't let it be discouraging, because this is exactly what's going to help you if it's hard. All right, let's go ahead and come out. We'll go back to that posture assessment. We'll see how you do the second time around. So again, feet about 2 to 4 inches away, standing feet hip width distant. Go ahead and let your shoulders, your back, and your head come to the wall. And notice, do things feel better here, right? Is your lower back maybe a little bit closer to the wall? Mine actually is. And then is your head in closer contact with the wall? Do you feel like you're craning up as much? Are your shoulders less rounded forward? Hopefully this is improved, and that's a good sign that if you do these exercises on a regular basis, that your posture will continue to improve. So if you can remember, try to do these exercises on a daily basis, and if you do these for about a week, you should notice improvement. Stick with it for a month to be certain. I also want to share my first workout from my free pain relief challenge. Go ahead and click over my shoulder. You can save that for later. You can try it now if you'd like to. But if you can do these consistently, you're going to notice significantly improved posture, pain relief, and just a greater overall sense of confidence in your longevity, which, if that's important to you, that's important to me. So, hey, let's work on it together. Thanks for joining me for this posture assessment test. Comment below, let me know how you did. Let me know what you need to work on. Like the video if you found it helpful, and then subscribe, because we put out new videos every week, mostly focused on helping guys with common problems like posture or other men's fitness challenges. See you on the next video.